Welcome to What We Hear in the Northern Tier, a Tioga Publishing Company production. This week, we are looking at the May 28th editions of our papers. I'm Josh Magnotta. I'm the sports editor for the Wellsboro Gazette, the Free Press Courier, and the Potter Leader Enterprise. I'll be your host for this week's episode. If you have news or stories you would like to share, or if you just want to say how much you enjoy the show, you can drop me a line at josh@tiogapublishing.com. During today's show, keep an ear out for the Word of the Week, where we will have one word from a headline in both the Wellsboro Gazette and the Free Press Courier and the Potter Leader Enterprise. Glance through your papers or online and find the word in the headlines. The first person to respond with the correct headline will win a prize. Email news@tiogapublishing.com with your answers. Now on to this week's stories. Let's start above the fold. In the Wellsboro Gazette, a grassroots group of individuals met to share concerns, ideas, and plans to prevent the construction of a hyperscale data center in Tioga County. The topic of data centers has been a recurring theme in recent months, with numerous informational meetings hosted by various groups and individuals. County commissioners passed an ordinance in January to regulate data centers, but half the county's townships and boroughs don't have zoning to limit the construction of a data center. In the Free Press Courier, the Osceola Township Supervisors met on May 21st in a rescheduled monthly session. During the meeting, supervisors revealed the schedule for the planned upgrade to Sealy Hill Road. A sole bid for stone for the project was opened during the April meeting, with plans to tar and chip the 1.1-mile section of roadway. In the Potter Leader, the Coudersport Fun Fest was held on Saturday, May 16th. This was the third year of the event, offering snacks, games, prizes, and experiences for children in Coudersport and the surrounding area. Let's take a look at some sports news. In the Wellsboro Gazette, Piper Hoprich brought home 2 gold medals from the PIAA Track and Field Championships. Hoprich claimed gold medals in both the 100-meter and 200-meter sprints, with times of 12.08 seconds and 24.4 seconds. Teammate Lauren Kosick earned a silver medal in the 3,200-meter run and broke her own personal best time in the event. In the Free Press Courier, the Kauneski Valley Indians baseball season came to a close in the District 4 championship game against Benton. The Indians gave up 4 runs with 2 outs in the top of the 4th, and Benton held on to win 6-4. "The ball just didn't go our way," said head coach Jamie St. Peter. "At the end of the day, they played better than we did, and their team made some amazing catches, and we didn't hit gaps. We only had 3 strikeouts, but we just hit the ball to them." In the Potter Leader Enterprise, Ethan Tarbox returned from the PIAA Track and Field Championships with a silver medal in the discus throw. Tarbox recorded a mark of 165 feet and 1 inch in the preliminary round and had a throw of 163 feet and 7 inches in the finals. Now for the Word of the Week. This week's Word of the Week in the Potter Leader is Bigfoot. Bigfoot. In the Wellsboro Gazette and the Free Press Courier, the Word of the Week is royalty. Royalty. Remember, the Word of the Week will be in a story headline. Once you find the word in your paper or online, email news@tiogapublishing.com with your answers. The first person to respond will win a prize. Now Christy will take us back in time for a look at our Way Back When section.
We have one item from the Potter Leader Enterprise. 100 years ago, May 27, 1926, Harvey Root and Joe Brunig did not have a fight, though that is what some supposed when they appeared at their doctor's office to have their injuries patched up. One of the men cranked a tractor, and the crank flew off and hit him in the face. Soon the other attempted to crack the tractor and received the same treatment by the machine. And in the Wellsboro Gazette in 1901, we have William Ellis of pulpwood fame had been assaulted by two daring and determined villains a few miles west of Roseville. They rushed upon him, seized his team by the bits, and injured him in the most brutal manner. The thieves not only took his horse, they also relieved him of his gold watch and chain, took his pocketbook, and left him lying on the ground. And another article from the Potter Leader Enterprise was again from 1901, and they had been informed that during a fracas at Austin, two men had drawn revolvers on Tim Weaver. One of the men shot, and the bullet entered Weaver's right cheek and passed through his mouth and made its exit through the left cheek, dislodging several teeth. I think that Mr. Weaver was a very lucky man.
Thank you for sharing that, Christy. We'll close today's episode by taking another venture back in time as I read Natalie's story about the historic jailhouse elm, which is going to be removed. After nearly 300 years, watching life in and around Wellsboro, the historic jailhouse elm has reached the end of its time. This past Thursday, the county and the chamber decided that the tree is no longer safe and will be removed before the PA State Laurel Festival, which kicks off June 13th. The decision was made after a final inspection and consultation with Jake Dincher, a certified arborist with Dincher & Dincher Tree Surgeons of Williamsport. The company has provided care, pruning, inoculation against Dutch elm disease, soil amendments, and cabling for the tree for the past 30 years. The tree is showing telltale signs of fungal disease, Dincher said. I assume we're dealing with elm yellows, aka phloem necrosis. There is no cure or prevention for elm yellows. The National Registry of Trees took a core sample and believes the tree predates the American Revolutionary War. The tree has been declining over the past 5 years, Dincher said. This year, approximately 25% of its canopy was removed. Several main branches and another 25% was recommended for removal. In old trees, you don't want to lose 10% of the canopy, he said. The loss of the main branches means that the cabling system no longer has anchoring points for much of the canopy. That makes the tree more susceptible to wind and storms. Julie Henry, executive director of the Wellsboro Chamber of Commerce, said the chamber has invested $5,000 to $10,000 annually for the tree over the past 30 years. Dincher is still awaiting word on the test results for elm yellows. Much of the top canopy of the tree has not leafed out to the same extent as lower branches. He showed a branch removed from the tree. The wood beneath the bark, a creamy white in healthy trees, has a caramel brown stain, a sign of elm yellows. Even if the test comes back negative, the structural integrity has been taken away, Dincher said. Everything that was keeping it up is not there anymore. Plans call for the tree's removal in early June. During the removal, the chamber office will be closed, as well as the portion of Central Avenue below the tree. Pedestrians, including school children, will be rerouted, Henry said. The chamber and county are exploring all options for the wood from the tree, which could be significant. The main trunk itself is estimated to weigh 10 tons. To request the wood from the elm, send an email detailing how it will be used to info@wellsboropa.com. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. I want to thank you for listening to this week's show. Remember to look for the word of the week in your papers and online. And if you or someone you know would like to advertise with us, email news@tiogapublishing.com. This has been What We Hear in the Northern Tier. As always, take care.